In this week's video, I'm going to show you how to take your old, dried up paint drips and paint skins and turn them into some beautiful gifts. Or if you're a person that likes to sell at the craft shows, I'll show you some unique ideas on things that you can add to your inventory. I'll teach you step by step, as always, how to do this. So get out those notepads and pencils and let's get started. Hello, my friend, and welcome to another video. So last week I showed you how to make these unique picture frames as a gift that you can give away for the holiday and talk to you about paint drips. Paint drips, we have so many paint drips here in the acrylic pouring world. That paint just drips and drips and drips. And here's the good news. There's something you can do with it. So in last week's video, after I used or poured on the picture frame, I told you I was pouring on top of a silicone mat. Here is that mat that I used. What I did when the video was over, instead of wasting that paint, is I decided to turn it into paint skins so that I can make even more gifts for the holidays or items to add into my craft show inventory. So what I did was I took any leftover paint that I had and I dumped it onto the silicone mat with the drips from the picture frame. Then I decided to take some black cell activator and just slide it over the top of these puddles of paint so that I could create some pretty paint skins for this week's video. You do not have to create your paint skins this way. You can literally just pour some paint on a non-stick surface. It doesn't have to be a silicone mat. You can use a black garbage bag if you have to. Anything that has a slippery surface, the paint will peel off of. But I like using the silicone mat. I will put a link for this jumbo mat in the description. I got it on Amazon. Anyway, this is what my paint drips and leftover paint looked like after I swiped it. Here's what it looks like once it's sat for about 5 days. It took to dry and it's ready to peel up. You can see it dried perfect. It did move a little bit in some areas, but it really came out pretty. And again, by no means do you have to just use a few colors like I did and swipe over it. Get creative with your designs. You could put puddles of color and kind of swirl through them with a skewer. There's so many things that you can do. If you're brand new to this type of art, I would suggest getting some pre-mixed, ready-to-pour paints and trying those out on a silicone mat. But here we go now. I'm just trying to peel them off. I didn't want to have one huge skin though, so I very carefully cut through the corner there to separate it. I do not suggest using a razor knife on a silicone mat like I just did. I was extremely careful, but there is a chance that you could cut through your silicone mat. So you may not want to do that and just use a pair of scissors to cut once you lift it up a certain amount. But anyway, here are my paint skins. Look at these. They turned out beautiful and they're big. So if you wanted to use them to wrap around a vase, or in an older video, I showed you how to create jewelry boxes and art journal covers with them. There's so many things, and I will link those videos for you in the description of this video so you can go back and look at different projects that you can create with these paint skins. So here I'm just showing you the back side. It's not really pretty on the back side once you do something like this, but the front, absolutely beautiful. So now we're going to start this week's video, and I'm going to give you some ideas on what to create with these paint skins. Okay, so at this point, you should have your paint skins ready. Save them over time. You'll end up with tons of colors. You can get out all your supplies, which I'm going to show you next. Get out all of your supplies and just sit down and make. And I'm going to show you some things that you can make with them right now. But anyway, I want to go over the supplies first. So you need some paint skins. If you want to make jewelry like I am today, you're going to need some type of a cabochon and a bezel tray. Well, the bezel tray with the matching cabochon. So I want to show you something though. This is where I always talk about profit. Let's say you're having or you're going to a church fair and you want to try to sell. All you need to do is sell one of these to make back your money that you spent on. This is only 5 of them. This was a big, huge kit. On the screen, I'm going to tell you how many were in this, how many necklaces that you can make out of this one kit. I can't remember right now, but I'm putting it on the screen for you. Anyway, I paid $20 for this one kit. All I need to do is sell one necklace to make back my money. So you can see there's potential to make a lot of money off this one $20 kit and a paint skin, right? Also something like this, $6 at Hobby Lobby. It's the tray with the matching cabochon. There's different shapes in there. I will show them to you. They were half off, so I paid $3 for this. I sell them for $20 a piece. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in here. So $120 can be made off of a $3 investment and some chain. Now the chain, you could buy it on a spool. I have these pre-made chains that have an extender on them. So they're 16 inches in length, but then they have the extender that brings them up to, I believe, 18 inches. So you can either buy them already made in bulk, like you can find them on Amazon. I'll try to put links in the descriptions for all of this stuff. I won't try, I will. So you can either buy them pre-made, or if you know anything about jewelry, you can buy spools of chain and make your own chains. It's not hard at all. All you need is the chain. You need this little jump ring right here, and then you need a clasp, and then another jump ring on the end. You don't have to do the extender part if you don't want to. You can just make them in different sizes. Sometimes when I'm at the craft fairs and I sell necklaces, I'll bring my chain making supplies. And if somebody says, oh, I would love that chain, but I would need it in 20 inches, I could just pull this out and make a chain in 2 seconds. And I'll show you how to do that too. So again, you can either buy pre-made chains to attach to these, or you can make your own by buying the chain on a spool and getting the clasp and the jump rings, okay? So that's for necklace making. If you want, you can also make things like bracelets, right? These bracelets that they sell at Hobby Lobby, the 1-inch cabochon fits perfectly in there. So you put a pretty paint skin in and make a beautiful bracelet. So there's tons of things you can do with your skins. And next week, I am going to do something with paint skins that I've never done before. And I hope you tune in to see that, because I think you're going to love it. And you will be able to make a beautiful gift for someone for the holidays that they will absolutely love. So make sure you tune in for that. But anyway, jewelry supplies, we got them. I'll talk about them as I go through everything and show you step by step how to do it. The other thing that you can think about with these paint skins that is unique, that you can also add to your craft show inventory, would be a light switch. Very simple. 97 cents at Walmart. I'm going to show you how to make one of these. You'll also need something that dries clear like a glaze. Today I'm using diamond glaze. You can also use things like Elmer's clear glue, anything that dries crystal clear. You'll need a couple of needle nose pliers, flat nose pliers, just a couple of pairs of pliers if you're going to be attaching your own jump rings and clasps to your own chain. And also you'll need a pair of chain cutters if you are cutting your own chain. Pair of scissors handy, a razor knife, a ruler. You'll figure out what supplies you need as you go along, but these are the majority of them. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your paint skins, okay? You're going to want to lay them out, and you're going to take your cabochon and you're going to start placing it in different areas and looking, because that's what it's going to look like once you cut it out. So you want to start looking at the different areas and what area you like best. And when you find one, you're going to remove your cabochon. You're going to take some of your clear glue and you're going to kind of just put a little, not an air bubble, put a little dot of your glue in that area, okay? Make sure you have a toothpick close by so that you can pop any air bubbles like that. Try to. Come on, get it out of there. Now I have two. All right, we're just going to spread it out a little bit here until they get out of my way. Once you push the cabochon down, it'll be good. So kind of just spread it out over the area of where you're going to be placing that cabochon. Make sure there's enough there. You don't want it flooded, but just enough. Just like this. Okay, and then you're going to take your cabochon and you're going to plop it right down on there and let it spread out on its own. And then you can give it just a nice little press down to get any air out of there, okay? And if it moves on you, just move it back into place where you want it. It should be good. And you're going to leave it. You're going to let it dry. So again, I'm just going to take my cabochon. I'm going to put it where I want it. I want to get a little bit of that silver, blue, we'll go right there. Okay, so I want it right about there. So again, I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to put down some of my glue. Spread it out with my toothpick. Just like so. In the general area. Plop the cabochon back down and then give it a push to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. You can see them very clearly, okay? Next, I'm going to use this bangle bracelet I got at Hobby Lobby to cover with a paint skin. So I'm just measuring to see how wide it is. And then I'm going to cut a piece of my skin a little bit larger than the area that I need. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that to the surface of the bracelet and trim the edges once it is dry. So for something like this bracelet, I didn't have to use this glaze as a glue, but I had it out handy. The glaze is a little more expensive, so you may just want to use something like a Mod Podge or regular glue for this part. I like to save that glaze for something where, like the cabochons, you're seeing through them and you don't want something that dries milky. You want something that dries clear, but when you're using this product underneath a skin, it doesn't matter if it dries milky or not. So reserve that stuff for the cabochons, but for something like this, I would just use regular glue. But anyway, I just brushed some on the surface and then laid the skin down on top of it, set it to the side to dry. Okay, to do the light switch, the 2 screws that come with it, just put it to the side. Put those to the side, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to use this as a template. Now, I don't happen to like this skin very much. I wonder if I can use my other one. Let's take this and we will put it right like this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a pen and we're just going to trace the outline, okay? All right, so now I have my outline and I'm going to cut that. Before you go cut out your skin for your light switch, you have to make the decision. Do you want it to wrap all the way around the side, or would you just like a pretty paint skin in the center here and have that white as a border? I'm thinking that I just want the paint skin in the center because look how pretty it'll look with a white border, right? So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to line it up with that center. I'm going to see how much I have to cut off. So I'd have to cut off this edge here, right? And then this bottom here to make it so it has a nice white frame. Mark it right here with the pen. So I know that's where I have to cut there, okay? And then down here, I'm going to mark it right about here so I can cut that part off. So again, I was being lazy and using my glaze as a glue here. But again, use something like Elmer's glue or Mod Podge. Center the skin in the center there and then just set it to the side to dry. Now I'm just using my glaze to go over the bangle bracelet to give it a little shine. So now we're going to let everything sit to the side and dry really good. And then it's time to come back and start assembling. Here are the cabochons that I glued down to the paint skin using the diamond glaze. And I'm just trimming off the excess. We're going to take a little bit of that diamond glaze and pop it right onto the bezel tray. Spread it out evenly. And then we're going to put the bezel on top of the wet diamond glaze, and it's going to secure it down there for us. And there's our beautiful pendant. These come out so pretty. I can't wait to show you the close-ups. People love these necklaces. They sell so well for me. But now if you have to make your own chain, here's how you do it. So get yourself a spool of chain. Measure the length of the necklace you want. Let's say, for example, 18 inches. Standard is 16 to 18 inches. Cut it off, and then on the end of the chain, you're going to attach one of these jump rings. They have a little split in them so that you can split them open. You're going to attach it to the end of the chain and then close it. On the other end of the chain, you're going to slide your pendant onto the chain before you put the clasp on. So what you're going to do is you're going to take another jump ring, open it up, get yourself a clasp. You're going to attach the clasp to the jump ring and then take the jump ring and put it on the end of the chain and close it. And then you'll have a completed chain. Here's my $4.99 bracelet from Hobby Lobby that I paid $2.50 for or $2.49 for, with a beautiful cabochon skin attached in the center. How pretty is that? Now it's time to move back to the light switch. Once that glue has dried and everything's permanent, go in with a razor knife and cut out the center area where the light switch pokes through. And then also take something like a skewer and pop it through the whole areas where the screws need to go in. Once you do that, you can come back and you can paint the front, paint some varnish over it to make it shiny. I used the diamond glaze because that gives it a nice shine. You can spray varnish. If you want, you could tape off the entire back and try to resin the front. Anything that you choose will look really nice. So you see here, I went through the back with the skewer first to poke a little hole. Now I'm going through the front. So I push the skin out towards the back, and that's where the screws are going to go. Again, I like this diamond glaze because it dries really shiny, but you can use something like a spray varnish or a resin to do this part. But if you choose a glaze, just put some on the surface and use a foam brush to spread it out. So what if you don't have any paint skins or you want some different designs? I have a unique idea for you. Go to your local Hobby Lobby or Michael's and pick up a book of scrapbooking paper. Look at how I turned this scrapbooking paper into this beautiful pendant. All I had to do was glue the cabochon on top of the paper and cut it out. Want to make earrings? I found this awesome cabochon earrings set on Amazon, and so I made earrings with my paint skins. How about a headband for a little girl in your life? I mean, how cute is that? A paint skin headband. The possibilities really are endless if you use your imagination. Again, I have videos down in the description of jewelry boxes and art journals, all kinds of things that you can make with these paint skins. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope it inspired you, and I hope, more importantly, that it helps you create a special, unique gift for that someone special this year. I want to thank you so very much for joining me. Don't forget to check out the description below for all the links for the products and tutorials, ways to follow me on social media, and other important information. Please remember to click the like button on the way out. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. What was your favorite item that I made here? I don't know, this scrapbook paper pendant is really pretty. I love you all. Thank you so very much for joining me. Happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate, and happy pouring.